In the ruined city of Magna Leptoris, the Cult of a Thousand Eyes has spent days looting the former Hive units, taking their loot and storing it in preparation to haul away. But the tribe of Salas has discovered their cache of loot and is determined to take their wealth for themselves. The two gangs clash in a smash and grab scenario where the defender places 5 loot crates in their territory and the attacker must open and loot 3 crates to win the game. The game goes until one gang bottles out or 3 crates are opened.
Here we are, set up with a smash and grab scenario. The Chaos Cultists arrived at the city first and have acquired a number of loot chests that they are defending, while the Desert Nomads, angered by the unlawful entry of these interlopers, has come into the city to destroy them and to take what rightfully belongs to the desert. Starting off the game, rolling for priority, the Cult of the Thousand Eyes gets a 3, and we have a tie, so we'll roll again. 6, so the Nomads will lead the way.
He is going to move here.
Okay. So activation of the Chieftain Salas. He moves up 5. What's his next action? 6. What's his next action?
Seems like he can see.
Yes, and I can overwatch him. So I'm going to immediately use my overwatch from my leader and shoot him with a grenade launcher. Going to fire a crack grenade. So he has moved within 5 inches of the Beast Slayer, and he will roll a d6 to see if the beast attacks. No. My Cult Demagogue, the Soulless One, overwatches with his grenade launcher, firing a crack grenade. He fails to hit. The Chieftain is firing his blast pistol with a short range BS4. He hits on a 3+. He does hit. My Cult Demagogue, the Soulless One, will be pinned. He did not roll a 6, so he needs to roll the wound, needing a 4 to wound. Successfully wounds. The Soulless One has a 5-up mesh armor save, which he passes. Additionally, the Soulless One has a Psychic Familiar, which he'll use as the first hit to negate that hit so he doesn't go down pinned. The Cult of the Thousand Eyes activate. The Eyeless One immediately moves up with his move and then unleashes a Flamer blast into the enemy Chieftain. Ammo check to see if he runs out of ammo. He's good. Blaze check to see if he lights the Chieftain on fire. He does. And strength 4 versus toughness 3, needing a 3 to wound. He does not wound him. But the Chieftain is now ablaze. The Chieftain does fail his initiative check additionally and falls 2 inches, landing on the ground ablaze. Next we have a group activation from Craig, activating the warrior next. Next is going to move up 6 and then see what his options are. Next is going to take aim at the Eyeless One, trying to take him down. Normally needs a 4 to hit, 3 because of close range, but moved up to a 5 because of heavy cover. And the shot is good and automatically wounds. Mesh armor save for the Eyeless One is failed. Go ahead and roll injury die. And the Eyeless One goes down. D66 roll, we have a 22, he is out cold. For Hugo, that is in proximity, he fails his nerves check and breaks, and will be broken on his next action. Craig is going to double move using his move 5 to get into a better position. Craig is 3 inches out, so we'll now roll to see if the beast attacks, and it does. So for the activation over here, Buster is broken. He will immediately make a 4-inch move away, followed by another 4-inch move into cover, hiding bravely.
So he'll be
Activating Crop, he is going to double move, getting into a better position. For both attacks against these two fighters, the beast fails to hit, although it is roused. For the Cult of 1,000 Eyes, we have an activation by Duck, who immediately makes a double move, moving up to try and support the Cult Demagogue.
they're going to jump down from there.
So we have a group activation by Blitz and one of the other warriors, and they'll be moving around through this side passage to try and flank. At the end of the battle round, Buster makes a cool check to see if he can rally and manages to roll 7, so he's no longer broken. At the end of the battle round, the Cult of 1,000 Eyes do have a bottle test. They have lost one fighter. On a 5+, they will bottle, but they have a home turf advantage, and they would get a second roll just in case. And here we are at the end of round 1. We already have some bloodshed. We already have nomad warriors rushing in from all directions, although their chieftain is on fire. We'll see how that works out. And the defenders are then on the ground. Moving into round 2. Priority roll off with a 5 because the nomads had priority last round. That means the tie goes to the cultists. Buster is going to activate and immediately move his 4 inches into position where he can see the tribal chieftain and try and put him out of misery. Rolling to hit needs a 3 because of close range. He scores 1 hit with his autogun, needing a 4 to wound. Successfully wounds. The chieftain now has a 5-up armor save from mesh armor. He makes this. We have a group activation over here with Krieg moving. For that move, he's still technically in range of the beast, so we'll roll to see if the beast attacks him on a 4+.
Is it 4+?
Yeah, you were 3 inches away before, so it would be a 4 now. Nope. And then he's going to aim and shoot at Buster, who's out in the open, hitting him on a 3+ due to range. That is a successful hit. Strength 4, needing a 3 to wound. Successfully wounds, cuts through his flak armor, and an injury die rolled up as
AP. Does it have AP?
it has AP1.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
Injury die?
Injury die. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Serious injury. Crop also moves up, pausing there, and taking aim at the downed Buster, trying to finish him off. With a 2, he does not hit. Ammo die still needs to be rolled. He does have an ammo check to make on a 4+. He is out of ammo. On this side of the field, Duck activates, moving 4 inches over and another 4 inches over, ready to attack anyone who comes through the doorway. We have an activation, group activation over here from Blitz, activating one of the other warriors with him as they move up to get into position. Activating the Cult Demagogue, the Soulless one, he's going to activate, aim, and fire a frag grenade directly on the ground in front of these two. So on a 4+, he does hit the ground. He does hit the ground directly in front of both of them, knocking them both down, pinned. They both have initiative checks to avoid falling as they're both within 1 inch. So first we have Krieg, who passes, and Crop, who fails and falls. For the wounding, it is strength 3 versus toughness 3, so that's a fail on Crop and a fail on Krieg. Remaining moves, the Nomad Warriors move up, moving into better positions to take some shots. Kaz is taking a shot at my waiting Helot Cultist. At this range, he needs a 3 to hit. Fails to hit. My activation in turn, my cultist Lefty turns and opens fire right back in. With the range, it would be a 3, but he is in cover, so needing a 4. Successfully hits twice with the autogun. Strength 3, toughness 3, so 4 is to wound. Wounds twice. The warrior now has 2 saves on his flak armor, needing 6s. Both are failed. 2 injury dice to be rolled. Seriously injured twice, so serious injury and flesh wound. He is within 1 inch of the edge, so he has to make a initiative check or fall. Succeeds on that, so he's down, seriously injured. So the warrior here next tries to jump the gap, trying to get in position to fire, and instead fails his initiative save and falls. Taking no damage, though. He's just slightly dazed. The chieftain gets up and runs 4 inches diagonally down this way. I assume he's going to throw himself on the ground.
Yeah.
Throws himself on the ground, trying to put it out. On a 4+, he succeeds. He fails. He's still on fire. He does take a strength 3 hit, which does not injure him. So he's still on fire, but not incapacitated. So I rolled a 3 on my reinforcements, D3 dice, so all 3 of them will come in. We'll see who controls where they go. On a 1 or 2, they're placed by the chieftain. So first hot box is placed by the attacker, and then I get to place the other 2. Reinforcements are placed. Ogor comes over in position to support. We have another cultist over here, and the last cultist placed in the back corner where he's not going to be much use for most of the battle. Here we are at the end of round 2. Things are in a slightly better position with some lucky saves and lucky shots. Bottle test to be made for the cultists. That is a pass, so the cultists will remain. The desert warriors have 1 person seriously injured, not enough to worry about a bottle test. Rolling for priority, the cultists get a 6, and the tribals get a 1. So cultists will have priority once more. First activation will be from the cultist that came in the back corner. He is going to double move into position to hopefully get into the fight eventually. Chieftain Salas activates, runs 11 inches, actually just into the wall until he falls down on fire again. Does he put himself out of fire? And does he take a wound? He does not take a wound. He is no longer on fire, but he is prone and pinned. Wanting to finish the chieftain off before he can cause problems, the soulless one moves in position where you can see him and fires his crack grenade launcher into the tribal chieftain. Needing a 3 to hit because of his ballistic skill, he fails to hit. Krieg stands up. In the process, however, he is potentially within line of sight of Ogor, who will overwatch. This will be rapid fire 2, firing the heavy stubber. It is ballistic skill 3. He is in cover. Successfully hits with 2 hits. It is strength 4 versus toughness 3. Scores 2 wounds. This is AP 2, so we'll cut through his mesh armor. Krieg has 2 wounds base, so the second goes in and does 2 serious injuries, one being a flesh wound, and as he goes face down on the platform. The cultists will activate their injured fighter, who will crawl desperately into cover, hoping to get lucky and recover on his next action. So on this side of the battlefield, we have a group activation from Blitz as they move up on this door, or at least into position to get to one of these loot chests. And here's their final position to open the door and then fire rockets and blast rifles into the corridor. So Duck the Witch activates, and he immediately casts Shield of Darkness, which he fails. But no perils, so that's good. We have activations down here in the pit where everyone seems to have fallen as they move to try and position themselves to be effective. End of the battle round, Tak has succumbed to his injuries. We're going to roll a d66. We have a 10, 15, so he is just out cold. Down here with Krieg, he has an assist, rolling 2 injury die, taking the one he wants. Well, that's a good thing he had the assist, so he's only still seriously injured and takes a second flesh wound. And correction, Krieg does not suffer the flesh wound because he does have the assist there. So rolling to see if the attacker bottles. On a 6, he will bottle. He does not. Close thing. And on a 4+, the defender will bottle the cultists, and they are good. Moving right into rolling for priority. The Cult of the Thousand Eyes gets a 2, and Silas, rolling for priority, gets a 5. So the tribe finally gets priority, moving into battle round 3 of this smash and grab scenario. I have the strangest feeling that a charge caster is going to come into play. We kick things off with a group activation from Blitz with his supporting warrior. His support will open the door as his first action and fire with his second action. Firing into Duck the Witch as an ammo check and fails to connect even at close range. So rolling the ammo check to see if he's out of ammo. A 4+. He's out. So Blitz drops a charge caster blast directly in front of the soulless one, who is out of line of sight otherwise. So rolling to hit with a ammo die needing a 5. He does fail to hit, but taking out 2d6 in the scatter die. We'll see where that blast lands. You got 2d6 in the scatter die. Yep. It does scatter 8 inches back. However, that may work out in his favor. Going 8 inches back drops it directly on the head of Ogor and his companion with a large blast. Rolling to wound. Hitting Ogor, trying to wound him, needing a 3. Fails to wound, but it does knock him down. Pinned. Rolling to wound against the flesh-wounded cultist, needing a 2, and successfully wounds him. He does need a 6 to save with his flak armor. Fails. Another injury die is rolled on him. He's already seriously injured. He takes an additional flesh wound. So I have an activation from the Soulless One as the Cult Demagogue levels his grenade launcher and fires yet another crack, hoping to take down the chieftain before he can cause many problems. He's aiming. He does hit. Strength is 6, so needing a 2 to wound. He successfully wounds. AP2, cutting through his mesh armor, dealing him an injury die as he takes his wounds, and unfortunately only does a flesh wound to the chieftain. So the chieftain activates and he plays Now You See Me and immediately moves from this location to another. He emerges from the shadows only inches away from a poor chaos cultist and immediately charges. The charge is made without any issues. He rolls 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, successfully hits 1 time, rolling to wound, wounds on a 2, and successfully cuts through his armor, doing 2 injury dice. Serious injury twice over, and coup de grace him with the charge. Rolling out of action, that fighter has a 53.
And that's 2.
For Hugo, that's going to be willpower and intelligence decreased by 1 with a head injury, and additional XP to Chieftain Salas. Down here, Ogor will activate and stand up, and he's going to move into a position where he can guard down both passageways with his heavy bolter and Overwatch. Over here, we have an activation from Crop as he moves through this narrow passage as a crawl, costing him 4 inches, but still having another 2 inches of movement on the far side. Moving in position to come open this box on the next turn.
I think he was out of ammo. So.
Yeah, with the remainder of his move moving up 6 inches. So on his next turn, he can open this crate. On this side, my lost cultist, Hotbox, moves up to this doorway or window and aims through, trying to put down one of these savage raiders. He is firing an autogun. It is short range, needing a 3 to hit. He does hit Blitz with his rocket launcher, needing a 4 to wound. He does successfully wound. Blitz has a 5+ mesh armor save, which he fails. Blitz will take 1 wound. Down here we have an activation from the injured Krieg. He's going to crawl, and then on the next activation his companion will move up with him, still providing the assist. Over on this flank we have an activation from the cultist moving up to the corner to fire into the warrior. Close range, hitting on a 3. He does hit once, Wounding on a 4. He does successfully wound, needing a 6 up mesh flak armor to save the warrior from the auto gun. So just one. Needing a 6. That injury goes through. Injury die rolled. He goes down with a serious injury. For the cultist's last activation, Duck will activate and he will charge the critically injured warrior and coup de grace him. D66 rolled for that warrior.
That's not memorable. Not memorable.
Memorable. 50. No, it would need to be 66.
Oh.
56. That warrior 56 is captured, and he may be facing some very bad times being caught by a chaos cult. Recovery roll being made for injured cultist. He rolls back over with a flesh wound. And no other rolls to make for the cultist. However, we do have an injury roll. 2 injury dice to be rolled for Krieg to see if he recovers. Rolls back over with just a flesh wound. So he's at 2 flesh wounds, and he is able to fight now. So Numbers Without End is played as the tribe of Salas attempts to bring in some additional reinforcements. D3. He gets D3 2. He had 2 members out of action, and they will be brought in as reinforcements. And they are placed in the deployment zone, ready for battle. Making the roll for priority, the Cult of the Thousand Eyes gets a 5, and the Tribe of Salas gets a 2. So Cult of the Thousand Eyes, moving into this next round, will have priority, trying to drive the tribe back from their precious loot. Cult of a Thousand Eyes will do a group activation from Ogor, first having Buster stand up and immediately fire at the chieftain trying to take him down. This is short range, but he is in hard cover due to the wall, so it will need a 5 to hit. Does not hit. With the next activation, Ogor will hold in place. Crop decides to take an action to open the loot chest, and he gets a jackpot, which ends up being 3d6 times 10 credits found in this loot box. Big payday. He finds 130 credits in that loot box, and with his second action, he's going to move in position to capitalize on this victory. Down over here, seeking to bring victory, we have Duck the Witch charging into the knockdown Blitz and attempting to kill him. With a whopping 2 attacks, needing 4s to hit, we get 1 hit from the axe. It is strength 4, toughness 3, fails to wound. Blitz gets his attacks back in return. 2 unarmed attacks coming back from Blitz, hitting on 3s. 1 hit.
Is it 3s?
Yep.
My weapons go 4.
Oh. Hitting on 4s, didn't matter. Wounding on 4s, does not wound. We have a group activation down here from Krieg as he and his companion who helped him out move out.
Yeah.
Using the opportunity as the warrior emerges, the Soulless One fires his grenade launcher as a crack shot into the warrior. He is partially obscured, so it'll be a 4 to hit. Fails to hit with the crack. The warrior fires back, firing his blast rifle into the Soulless One. With partial cover, that will be a 5 to hit. He does not score a hit. In the back, we have an activation and a double move as he climbs and moves, trying to get in to support his leadership. The warrior Taz is going to move up to open the door, leaving enough room for his companion to get through after opening it. In the back here, seeing that Duck is not doing so well, the remaining cultist will charge in bravely, trying to save his fearless prophet. The total of 5 inches, there's plenty of room to make it in. Getting a whopping 2 attacks. Doing absolutely nothing. Moving back over here to the last activation, this warrior activates and moves up to get into position to further sweep down and take these loot boxes. Over here, Blitz is going to activate and try and retreat. He'll make an initiative check to see if he can get away without being attacked. He succeeds in his initiative check. Initiative checks being made now to see if either of his attackers can fight. One attack from Blitz will be made with his axe. Hitting on a 4, he does manage to hit strength 4, so needing a 3 to wound. He fails to wound, however, and the Denari can move away d6 inches. Bottle check for the cultists. They are good. They do not bottle. No check needed. With the reinforcements brought on, the tribe of Salas is alive and well. All right, here we are at the end of the round. All the final moves made. As you can see, the tribe is pushing heavily on the one flank, while the cultists seem concentrated on that one charge casting foe. And the cult leader, cult demagogue, holds the center with Ogor trying desperately to hold the flank against the chieftain that has been shredding anything he touches. Up next, we have a priority dice roll, seeing who has priority for the next turn. On a 3+, it will go to the tribe of Salas, and they take it, so they will have priority. Having priority, the chieftain starts things off with a charge declared on Ogor. We have Overwatch declared by the demagogue, firing into the chieftain, trying to take him down before he can reach his champion. With the positioning, it is out in the open, so a 3+ is needed. It does score a hit. Strength is 6 with that crack grenade. He does wound. It being AP 1 and him having a mesh armor, there is a 6-up save, or he goes down with 2 damage. It didn't land in the box. Roll it again.
Okay.
He fails the save, takes 2 damage, injury die is rolled, and he goes down with a critical injury. Over here, eager to take him down, the cultist charges forward and coup de grace the chieftain, knocking him out.
I totally forgot about that.
Rolling on the serious injury table, we have a 21, which is knocked out cold. So here we have a group activation from Krieg. First moving up is Nixt, who moves into the cover of the ladder and takes a shot at the cult demagogue. It is close range, which cancels out the light cover, giving him hitting on a 4+. For that, he just misses. Next moving, we have Krieg, who's going to emerge from the tunnel.
It's a 5-inch move, so it's 3.
Moving in position, he can also fire at the cult demagogue. He hits on a 3, normally a 4 because of cover. And he also manages to miss. Over here, Hotbox is bravely going to activate and charge. He is jumping down in the middle of his charge, so he will have to take an initiative check, but otherwise he should reach without a problem. Initiative check for him, he fails and he falls, landing prone and pinned 1 inch away from his target. Up first we have a activation from this warrior who crawls through the tunnel, emerging on the far side, and takes a shot again at the cult demagogue, trying to put him down so that he can't overwatch next turn. It is not short range, and he is in cover, so needs a 5 to hit. Does not score a hit with a 1. On this side, we have a group activation from Duck. Duck is going to charge initially, trying to reach the champion and put him down. Charges rolled. 7 inches is more than enough as Duck goes in to fight. Making his attacks, Duck misses both times. The remaining cultist on this side, Lefty, activates as part of the group activation and moves up and will hold his fire, waiting on an opportunity to intervene. The warrior here activates, doing a double move to try and get in position so that next turn he can open up on the demagogue. With the battle round ended, no one is seriously injured. We have a very heavy presence of desert warriors, and then half of the cultists chasing this one caster in the side. We have Blitz making his 2 attacks against Duck, hitting on 3s.
Is it 3s?
Yeah. With 1 hit, strength 3, toughness 3, wounding on 4s. He does wound. Duck has a 5-up save, which is failed. Duck will take 1 wound. Bottle check needed for the cultists. With the home turf advantage, they are still good. They don't need to use the reroll. Priority roll coming out. The Cult of the Thousand Eyes gets a 4. And the Tribe of Salas also gets a 4. The Cult takes it because the Tribe had priority last turn. And here we go. Having priority, the Soulless one will activate, and he will immediately move up 4 into hard cover and fire his grenade launcher as a frag grenade, trying to take out some of these encroaching warriors. Because he is going to aim at a spot, trying to hit 3. Oh yes, true. He just moved into threat range. So he has moved into threat range. Let's see if he's attacked. He is not attacked by the beast. So he will drop his frag on top of these 3 warriors. Because he's targeting the square, it is a 5+ to hit. He does miss, so it's going to scatter 2d6. It's going to go 9 inches, hit the wall, and basically detonate right on top of this one. So hitting there, it still manages to hit all 3 of them. They will have to wound them. It is strength 3 versus toughness 3, so rolling first on Courage, who's actually toughness 2 right now. He is strength 3, toughness 3, is not wounded. Rolling on the next one, he is not wounded. And the last one is, so takes a wound and has to make a 6-up save on his flak armor. The other two are knocked, pinned on the ground. So go ahead and roll this 6-up. That's failed. Injury die is rolled, and it's just a flesh wound. On this side, Crop will attempt to reload, reloading his long rifle on a 4+. He fails. Will he try again?
Yep.
He'll try again needing a 4, and also fails. Apparently there was no ammo, just lots and lots of credits.
He's got so much clothing.
Not to be outdone, Buster is going to move up to the corner and fire into Crop, knowing that his enemy is out of ammunition. It is close range, needing a 3 to hit. He fails to hit from point blank. Seriously.
I measured.
So we have an activation from Nixt. He moves right up to the box, and what's he going to do?
Try to open. Intelligence.
As he goes to open it, we have an Overwatch from Ogre. He is out in the open. My BS is 3, so on a 3+, I fail to hit.
That would have been nasty.
Yes. I immediately play Suppressing Fire. Failed to hit, but I immediately make him prone and pinned. Over here, we have an activation from Lefty, who charges in to support. He gets 2 attacks on the charge. Fails to hit with both of them. We have a group activation over here with Krieg in this pile of individuals. So Krieg stands up and he immediately shoots at the demagogue, trying to put down the soulless one and send him to hell. Needing a 5 to hit, he has an ammo check required and fails to hit, so rolling the ammo check for his long rifle, needing a 4+, fails, and he is out of ammo.
Ammo's going to kill.
Tak, after standing up, moves up into cover of the ladder with a 6-inch move, ready to take aim and lay waste to cultists. On this flank, Duck will activate and do his 1 attack, trying desperately to hit something. He does hit. He is strength 4 versus toughness 3, so on a 3 he will successfully wound. He does wound. There's a armor save now. 6+ because the axe does AP 1.
So armor save 6+.
Armor save is failed.
So he's down.
So flesh wound or wound injury dice is rolled. That's out of the dice tray. Injury dice is rolled. It is fatality. D66 lasting injury is rolled. He gets a 23. He is out cold. Moving back over here, we have one warrior who can stand up with his activation. Is he going to take a shot at the demagogue, or is he going to move up? Alright, so he takes a shot at the demagogue with his blast rifle. BS 4+. He will hit on a 6 because of heavy cover, hard cover.
And he's not short?
He's not in short range. It would need to be 5 squares. And he misses. So bottle checks being taken for the Cult of 1,000 Eyes on a 4+. They're fine. And for the tribe, they bottle on a 6. So cool checks will need to be made for everyone.
One job.
At the center, Kurg, with his improved cool, will try to take the test for those nearby on a 2d6, trying to get a 6 or higher. Courage fails. Krieg fails, and will vanish into the darkness of the Hive City, running for his life. Needing to make cool saves for the rest of his tribe. First we have Take. Talk. Passes, followed by... Oh, that was Talk, my bad. I don't know. Fails, disappears into the darkness. Down over here, we have Crop, who's fine. And we have Nixt, who is pinned, making his test. And is also fine. Rolling for priority. 6 going to the cult and 2 to the tribe. So the cult will have first activation. So down here, we're going to drop a frag grenade from the soulless one right on top of Talk, trying to knock him down so that he cannot get up and open a crate. I do miss. No ammo check required. Scatter die to roll. It's a big scatter, however, it's going to slam into the wall here and still clip Talk's base. So therefore, rolling to wound him, got a 4, so successfully wounds him. He does get an armor save of 6+ for his flak armor. He makes the save, but he is pinned, prone and pinned in cover, which should prevent him from moving up on a box and opening up this turn. So over here, Nixt stands up and is immediately overwatched by Ogor.
Can he see you?
Yeah. So, firing into him, he does miss wildly, second ammo and possibly runs out of ammo, and does run out of ammo. So Ogor is out of ammo and has overwatched. So he succeeds in opening the box, a d6 rolled to see what's in the box, and gets a 5. That's going to be d6 times 10 credits found inside that box. That'll be another 50 credits. Down here, trying desperately to defend and hold the line, we have the brave cultist opening fire from point blank, attempting to put down Crop. Do score a single hit. It is strength 3 versus toughness 3. Also wound. Crop has mesh armor, so he will save on a 5+. Save is failed. Injury die being rolled. And Crop goes down with a serious injury.
Oof.
We have an activation from Crop as he desperately tries to crawl away into cover, moving his full 3 inches, trying to stay alive. Over here, we'll have a group activation as Duck activates himself in Hotbox. Hotbox activates, moves up 4, and immediately moves up another 4, trying to get back over where he can support. Duck moves up 4 and another 4, also trying to support.
Quite a bit from this.
So Talk will activate,
I'm happy with what
stand up, and he moves his 6 inches over to provide an assist to his wounded companion. With the remaining activations, the cultists move up, getting in position to swarm those interlopers and take back what is rightfully theirs. Doing a recovery roll for Crop. He remains critically injured.
One.
Cool checks being made first for Crop. Crop is fine. Moving on to Tok. Tok is fine. And lastly, doing Nixt. Nixt has recovered a box and decides he's done with this fight. As the dust settles, the nomadic Ash Waste warriors retreat into the darkness of the Lost City, leaving the cultists with the field of the battle. Although the cultists emerge victorious, the warriors did loot a tremendous amount of wealth in just the 2 boxes that they took, leaving them actually coming away from this battle with more credits than the cult can possibly earn.
Victory goes again to the Cult of 1,000 Eyes as the Chaos Helot gang takes the win. They earned a hefty boost of reputation and 50 credits, though there's an acid burn in how much their enemies took away. Lefty was the MVP for them this game, knocking down a flanking Ash Waste nomad who was in position to hit the cult from behind, and then backing up Duck in his fighting against the champion Blitz. The tribe of Salas came out with a lot of credits from this one though, earning more than 3 times what the cult did even with the loss. The jackpot roll on the first loot crate and then a high roll there paid off very well, with most of their gamers coming away without injury. Their MVP was Chieftain Salas, because even though he only took down one of the cultists, he was such a threat that the cult spent most of their firepower trying to keep him out of the fight. I hope you enjoyed the battle report. This was a long game and we were pretty tired by the end of it. It was a lot of fun. Please hit like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.